Hi y'all, it's Charlene from the Crafty Art Shack, and today we are going to be working on a special fall project. Yeah. Let's get to the craft desk and use all of this stuff. Let's go.
Alright you guys, we're here at the craft desk and we are going to be making a wreath, but the first thing we need to do is we need several strips of this material, and I got this from the Dollar Tree, and I'm just going to cut it in about 1.5 inch square or strips, and I'm going to just rip it because I want that torn edge look that it gives you. And this side over here I'll just leave like it is, and I'll clean up all the strings later. I don't want to clean them up too much because that's the look I'm going for. Okay, so what I'm doing is I have gold tooling, brown tooling, and brown mesh with gold in it, and I'm just rolling all three of these out together. And what I'm doing is I'm cutting these for my wreath. I'm going to measure them at 8 inches and just cut it and set it to the side. And I'm going to cut, okay, so I'm just cutting 5 of these of the tooling, the chocolate tooling and the gold tooling and the chocolate mesh. Only 5 because that's all I need for my bows. Okay, I've cut 5 of these at 10 inches long for these bows up here. Okay, and then I cut 10 of the black and white check at 8 inches long. I'll put all of this in the description box. Then I cut 5 of these oranges gold ones and dovetailed the ends as well. And I only did 5 of those. I did 10 of these little red trucks with the dovetails on the end, and these are at 6 inches long. Then I did 10 at 5 inches long of this orange check. Then I have 5 of the yellow plaid at 1.5 inches, which is the strips that we cut or that we tore, and then I made them 5 inches long, and I did the same with the little truck. So now I'm going to make my bow, and how I'm going to set up my bow is like this. I'm going to take one of my little gold things here, I'm going to take the tooling out of it, and I'm going to take it all apart, and then I'm going to just take and fold the end in, and then I'm going to fold the end in, and I know it's hard to see this gold on camera, and then I'm going to fold that end in and hold it right there, and that's going to be one side. Now take these little clamps like this, and those are too big. Let me get some of my other little clips. I'm going to clip that one right there and set it to the side so I can show you how to do this next one. You fold it over, and then you scrunch it up and hold it right in the center. Now you're going to take that one and the gold one you just did, and you're going to put them together. And I just sit them side by side just like this. You can crisscross them like this as well. And I'm going to do that instead of just setting them side by side. And I'm going to get out one of my bigger clips because we're going to be adding quite a bit to this bow. So I'm going to take my little pink clip here and just clip that right in the center and get it to hold it. Okay, then the next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to take all that stuff to the side. Then I'm going to take my mesh, and I'm going to kind of let it roll and do what it wants to do, but I'm going to fold the ends in, and then I'm going to kind of squish it together at the center again. And when I squish it in at the center, then I'm going to add it to what I already have here. And I'm going to just hold that right there with my clip. And I have these little orange pipe cleaners that I picked up at the Dollar Tree for this season, and I'm going to just fold it in half. Fold it in half like that. Okay, now I'm going to go from the top and put it in. Now how do you know which is the top? The top is the side that has your little curly cues hidden underneath. Okay, so I'm going to kind of turn mine around because this is the top of mine. And see how my mesh is curling? This is up If I do it this way, I have my tail end sticking out. I don't want that. So I'm going to put it on where my little wires come up the top and my little curls go under. Okay? And I'm going to take my clip off, and I'm going to just take this and I'm going to twist it really tight. Now I'm going to let that sit there just like that, and I'm going to do the next step. The next step is I'm going to get this bow or this ribbon, and I'm going to take and just take and hold the end right here and this end right here, and I'm going to squish it right here in the center just like this. And then I'm going to pull these ends out because this is a wired ribbon. And I'm just guesstimating where the center is going to be. Because this is a wired ribbon, those will fold out like that. I'm going to lay that on there. And I'm going to go up and over with my wire and just lock that into place. Now I'm going to assemble all my other little pieces to my bow. Okay, so now I'm going to take 2 of the black because we cut 10 of these. So I'm going to take 2 of these, I'm going to crisscross them right here. I'm going to take 1 of the orange. Whenever I have 1, I'm going to go like this. And you want to put these on in the layers of how long they are. The next I'm going to do the little red truck. Now we should have 2 of these. So these are going to crisscross. And you're going to need to kind of put your finger there while you're crisscrossing everything. Just like that. And then I'm going to take 2 of my orange ones and crisscross them because I have 2 of those. And see how I'm layering that where I kind of got some of the black peeking out of the back. I still have my trucks showing. And then I'm going to take and lay a layer of the yellow plaid and then 1 layer of my little truck, and I'm going to crisscross these as well. So I'm just holding that down with my finger, and I'm going to crisscross, and it's going to cover up my little red truck right now, but it'll show in a little bit. Okay, now that I've got that crisscrossed, I want to pick it up with my hand, all the layers, and then what I'm going to do is I'm going to get my stapler, and I'm going to make sure that I'm stapling all the layers right in the center. Okay, just like that. And then I'm going to scrunch it in the center. And then I'm going to bring this bow back over here. And I want to make sure my pieces go to the sides that they're supposed to be on. I'm going to lay that back down in the center. And I'm going to pull that wire over. Then I'm going to flip it over. And I'm going to twist it back here at the back. I'm only going to twist once at the front, and then I'm going to twist back here at the back. Now I'm going to get a pair of my little pliers out. Hang on just a second, I should have had these out. I'm going to take my little pliers and I'm going to grab this right here and I'm going to pinch it with my little pliers. And I'm going to hold these pieces this way and I'm going to twist the same way I've already been twisting. And these pliers are going to help you get that nice and tight. Okay, you want to twist it as tight as you can. And it's going to make those ones on the front pop. Okay, and then see how it makes everything go like this. When I had it laying flat, now it makes it pop up. Okay, now we'll take this and this will go on our wreath when we get ready to do it. So I'm going to make up all these little bundles, and when I'm done with these, I'll be back and we'll start the wreath.
Okay, what I'm doing here is I'm going to cut 26 of these little strips, and they're 8 inches long, and there's 3 different colors there. There's the orange mesh, there's a tooling, and then there's the brown mesh. And I'm just cut all of these and set them to the side as I cut each one, and when I get done with that, I'll be right back. Okay, what I'm doing here is I'm rolling up the little brown mesh then I'm going to roll up the orange mesh and clip it together. And then as I'm rolling it, I'm tucking those ends in, and then I'm clamping them together. And I realized that I rolled up my little piece of tooling in there with it, so I had to unroll it and pull that tooling back out. And then I just gather the tooling up, clamp it with my orange mesh, go back and tuck in the ends, and then let that roll up on itself and making a little tube. And then I'm going to take that little tube and add it back to the orange and the brown over there. And then I'm going to take my pipe cleaner and I'm going to fold it in half and come in from the top and twist that together. And I need to do 26 of these little bundles, and when I get done with that, then I'll be right back. Okay, what you see me doing here is I've cut 6 bundles, and in these bundles there's 1 brown, 1 orange, and 1 plaid piece of material. I've cut those bundles at 8 inches, and I cut my material 6 pieces of, or 3 pieces of them are of the plaid and 3 are of the truck. And I'm going to take those and attach them together. I'm rolling them up just like I did the other ones, and then I'm going to crisscross the orange and the brown. And once I do that, then I'm going to add the little piece of material in there. I'm doing 6 of these bundles, so it's going to have 3 of them is going to have plaid, and 3 of them is going to have the little truck in them, the truck material. So as soon as we get these done, then we should be ready to start the wreath.
Okay, what I'm doing now is I have this wire frame that I got from the Dollar Tree. It's in the shape of a hat for a witch, but we're going to make this a scarecrow hat. Here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to take my raffia, I'm going to fold it in half, okay? Now, I'm going to fold it in half like this. I'm going to take and stick it up through the frame, and then I'm going to take the end and I'm going to poke it back through the hole right here. And I'm going to make sure I catch all of those little pieces. And then I'm going to take and pull it tight. Okay, and then I'm going to take and slide it over here to the end. And then I'm going to just keep repeating. I'm going to keep repeating these steps. Let me see if I can't get this up here where I can show you one more time. Okay. So I'm going to take the other half of my raffia. I took off 10 sprigs, or 10 little pieces. And I took 5 of them. And now this is the other 5. I'm going to fold it in half. And it doesn't have to be perfect. And I'm going to come to this side of the centerpiece this time. And I'm going to add that. I'm going to take and put it through the hole. I made a loop, then I pulled it over. And now I'm just going to tighten that up. Just like that. And I'm going to move it over to the side. And okay, what I did is I added one more set of 10 to the bottom of the hat, and this is going to be our scarecrow hat. And then what I did, let me see if I can't get it over here so you can see it. What I did is I trimmed the ends of it off. Now I saved all of those little ends right here, because now we're going to take these little ends, and I wired them together. We're going to take these little ends and we're going to attach them up here at the top. One of my pipe cleaners, and I'm going to take and fold it in half around this, and I'm going to twist it. And then once I feel like that's pretty secure, then I'm going to take and add it to the top of my hat by going into the wire and then back around, and I'm going to bring it over the top like that and back around again, and then I'm going to twist it on the back side. Okay, and I'm going to twist it on the back side, and that's going to hold it to the top of our little wreath. Okay, Okay, so what I'm going to do now is I'm going to take the top of this and I'm going to bend down my little pipe cleaners and wrap them around the end of this raffia right here so that it secures it in place and it's not bobbling all around. Okay, so all I did was I took this and wrapped it around that. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to take some of my little strips of material and I'm going to put some hot glue on this end. And you're probably going to want to have your little pink fingers out if you don't have them out, because this can get hot. And I'm going to attach that to the back of that. And then I'm going to start wrapping around this little piece right here until I get it secure. And I'm going to do it a couple of times down the little strip, and then I'm going to go back up. And then I'm going to just secure that right up there at the top. I'm going to go ahead and wrap it all the way around. And I'm going to secure it on the back side right here. I'm going to put some glue down. And get my little finger on so I can press that over and let that get nice and secure on there. Trying to get all those strings off. Okay, then what I'm going to do is, after I get that on there.
Okay, now at this point you should have your little bows that you did 26 of, which has the orange, the brown mesh, and the orange mesh, and the tooling. And you're going to take those and start adding them to the wreath. And here's how I did it.
And I'm going to hold that where I have my two ends of my pipe cleaner sticking out. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to come over the top on the right side. Then I'm going to flip it over. And when I flip it over, and I'm holding all of this stuff out of the way, I folded that in half so that I have this back here that I can work with, and it won't bunch up under here. Because if you don't hold it like this, if you don't hold those, just fold that little tube thing you made over like this, then it's going to get tangled up in that. So I'm just twisting it really tight, and then I'm going to take my little plier clippers and I'm going to cut the end of that off just like that, and I'm going to take that end and I'm going to push it down. Then I'm going to flip it back over and I'm going to fluff that little bow just like that. And I'm going to repeat attaching all of these to down this side and up here and all the way down this hat. Okay, so I'm going to do that, and when I get done I'll be back.
Okay, so I showed you the view from overhead, but here's what I'm doing. I'm taking one of my little bows, tube bows that I made that's got all the little pieces in it, and I'm going to take it, and this is the front side. I'm going to take and attach that right there to the front side. I'm going to come to the back side. Let me see if I can't turn this around for you. I'm going to come to this back side. I need to get all this out of the way for you. Back side, and see my two little tails? You can leave these long and it'll make it easier for you. And you're just going to twist that onto there, just like that. And then you're going to take those ends and fold them down. And then when you turn it back around to the front side, this is what you'll have. And you're just going to work your way all the way down this piece. Okay, so I'm going to make up all my little bows and get them started and show you what this is going to look like. So let me get busy.
Okay, so I'm working on the bottom now. I've put in all of, I ended up having to make 6 more of these, so there's 26 of these little bows here. Now I went back and I made some of these little bows right here, and it has two, one brown, one orange, and then one piece of strip of fabric in there. And what I'm doing is I'm taking my bows that I made like this, and I'm putting in one like this onto my wreath, and then I'm adding one of these into the wreath down here along the brim, and that's going to make up the brim of the hat. So let me get these attached, and then I will show you what they look like. So let me see how much of this. So I'm taking one like this with the material. Now I have 3 with the truck and 3 with the plaid. So the first one I put on was plaid, the second one was one of these bows, the next one is going to be the one with the truck, and I'm going to go right along the bottom of the brim of this hat and put that in there just like that, and then I'm going to slide it over. Okay, now I'm going to come with one of my bows like this, and I'm going up to the top of the brim for that one, and I'm going to put it, take my pipe cleaners, put it over the brim, pull it into there, and I'm going to kind of pull out that one I just did and put it to the top. I pull it up, and then you kind of got to work with this to find out where your pipe cleaners are, and you just twist it on in the back. Okay, so there's that one. Now I'm going to come in here with another one of these, but this time I'm going to pick up the one that is plaid, and I'm going to take and stick it on the bottom of the brim. So the brim has 2 parts to it. It has the top of the brim right here, and then it has the bottom of the brim. And what I'm doing is the ones that are the little ones I'm putting on the bottom of the brim, then the ones that have all of my bows in them like this are going to the top. So the next one I'm going to pick up is going to be one of these, and I'm going to put this one up top, and just attach it in there. I'll go back and to the back side and pull all of those off of there. Now I have one of these left over. I actually have 25 up there. I'm going to take this one and put it right here, attaching it to the bottom of the brim because it's the center of my hat, and it's the only one I have left. And then I'm going to pull out my little threads of material and bunch that up. Now the next one I'm going to pull is going to be one with a little truck, and that's going to go on the bottom of the brim. And then the next one I'm going to do is going to be one of these. And
okay, I'm just going to keep alternating those bows, the messy bow, and then I'm going to do one messy bow and one of the ones with the truck and one with the plaid strip until I completely go all the way across the brim. And then we'll look and see what it looks like, and it's going to be just too cute, and we'll go from there.
Now this is what we have so far. Let me get all this extra stuff that's hanging on here. Okay, so this is what we have so far, and I want to take my raffia and pull it over into place and just kind of do some adjusting till I get it to look like the other side. Okay, so what I did is I went and took a piece of the yellow plaid and I cut it 3 inches wide, and then I took that one of those little strips I had left over that we started with and glued it to it, and then I just wrapped it around the back and tied it to it, and you see those don't match up, but that's okay because this is the back side. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to add some little flowers right here, and then our little scarecrow hat will be done. So I have this big flower left over from my other fall projects, and I'm just going to take that and go right in there and clip that on there. And how cute is that? Now, the raffia over here doesn't show up as good, and I don't know if it's just because of the camera or my shirt or what, but this is our little Scarecrow hat, and I think it turned out just adorable. I'm going to put a few more sprigs of flowers here, and then I'll be back to show you what it looks like. Okay, I've gone in and added some little flowers over here to the side and over here. A couple little wheat stalks up here at the top with these little yellow flowers. And how cute is that little... Let me see if I can't get back here where y'all can see more of it. How cute is that little Scarecrow hat? So, that's it for this episode of the Crafty Art Shack. We hope you enjoyed this episode, and we'll look forward to seeing you again on another episode of the Crafty Art Shack. We'll see you later. Bye!
So, let me get what we're using out. I'll be right back.
Hi y'all, it's Charlene from the Crafty Art Shack, and you know, we've been doing Christmas because I love Christmas. But I keep saying I got one more fall project, but I must love fall just as much. You know, I think the whole thing about it is I love all the holidays. I love holidays all the way around. So we do have another fall project for you, and another one after that. And then we're going back to Christmas again. And if I find another fall one I like, and it's not fall yet, we just might do it. Who knows here on the Crafty Art Shack what we're going to do. But we hope you like these videos, and we'll see you later. No, we won't see you later. We'll see you at the craft desk. Okay, well, let's get started.